Hello everyone. Today I'm doing a drawing of a Hamza, which is a symbol of a hand, typically with an eye in the middle of it, that's common in places like Turkey, and I think it's a pretty common across a number of cultures. But what I'm doing here in the beginning is I'm using a template that I made of a hand shape. Typically, whenever I want to do symmetry, I'm often making my own stencils to control the form. So that's why you see me with these little bits of white paper throughout the drawing. I'm from an Italian family, so I'm fairly familiar with all of the trappings of superstition, I guess you could say. Or you could just say faith or belief, or maybe even paranoia on occasion. But the commonly held belief is that when you are looked at with envy or any other kind of potentially negative emotion, you could suffer some side effects. And that's the point of the Hamza or any of the other sort of trappings that we use to ward off the evil eye, or the malocchio, as the Italians would call it. I do remember we had a number of things in my house when I was growing up, and amongst my own family and relatives, it was not an uncommon thing to see someone wearing a little necklace called the cornus, sort of a horn shape that's supposed to ward off ill wishes. We also had, and I'm not sure where these came from, but there was some sort of goat horns that were kept above the fireplace that was potentially disturbing. One of those things that you just sort of play with when you're a kid and you think, why on earth did we have goat horns on the fireplace? And we also had a stuffed owl, and I'm not sure who, I can't remember who, but at some point in time, my parents knew a taxidermist, which is really just, it's pretty creepy for me. I don't understand a stuffing of a dead animal, but when I was a kid, I thought, wow, what a beautiful owl. And I remember gazing at it and kind of petting the feathers, and then kind of think, gosh, that was a little creepy. But I think that might have also been sort of a malocchio kind of thing that was uncommon in the house. So here I drew the eye in the center. I'm using micron pens and some white uniball pens, which I totally love. And there's some gold in this image as well. And I'm just kind of repeating patterns, creating some symmetry, and maybe some sort of hidden images. We'll see if you can find those if you take a close look at it. Throughout this drawing and throughout most of my drawings, it's not uncommon for me to have a hot beverage to my right. I'll often take a little break and go make yet another one. Green tea, some sort of coffee substitutes. Always flavored, or sweetened, I should say, with stevia. I stopped having large amounts of sugar some time ago because I do like to drink so many hot beverages to kind of mark my time. I remember when I used to take long road trips with my sister. This is somewhat unrelated, but we all have our habits. She used to peel oranges while she was driving, and I was just absolutely amazed that she should keep such focus on the road and also be able to peel an orange at the same time. I guess the sugar and the smell kind of kept her very alert on these long trips, but I would not recommend attempting such a thing unless you have a special skill. Also, not something I would ever do myself. But these little habits sort of mark who we are, I think. They can be either, endearing or irritating to other people. I suppose if I were a big slurper, my hot beverages would be annoying for other people. Or if I didn't throw away my tea bags and left them in the sink, or maybe left my empty stevia wrappers on the counter, that could be really, really irritating for somebody else. I cannot remember who said that familiarity breeds contempt. It really does seem to be quite true. We really do, I think, tend to appreciate that which is kind of distant from us, or not so familiar or everyday. I guess that's also part of that phrase, absence makes the heart grow fonder. So maybe little breaks from those people we are closest to is really not a bad idea. I am sure I have an array of irritating personal habits, just like most of us do. And maybe something like that could potentially incite the evil eye from somebody gazing at you with irritation. But I don't know. I think I'm moderately superstitious. I'm not the one to turn a car around if I see a black cat. I wonder why walking under a ladder is supposed to be bad luck. I never really figured that one out. I do have to maybe look that up and find out what the history is there. But depending on what culture you're from, I know that there are many different things that are considered to be bad luck or bad omens. I know it's not a good idea to give someone of a Chinese background a clock as a gift. That's considered to be a bad thing to do. So always make sure you understand cultural, superstitions or values before giving gifts, just in case you might offend someone's sensibilities. You want to be on the safe side. Thinking on all of these elements while drawing this particular design, I think I drew from a lot of different backgrounds. I have a uncle who lived in Turkey for I think almost 25 years, and we do have a couple of little keepsakes from there. I still haven't been. I would love to go. But there's some gorgeous ceramic pottery we have hanging on the wall with this amazingly intricate design. Of course, mine doesn't quite look like that, but anything that you can repeat enough times is going to end up looking really cool, very beautiful. And I have a lot of different types of shapes in here that I kept repeating, and I outlined a lot to make things sort of pop. But I hope you enjoyed my video and maybe got a little something from it, and I'll see you again next time.